For decades, female superheroes in the X-Men have been the epitome of courage, resilience, and strength. These female superheroes are some of the most powerful beings in the comic world, and with their mutant powers, they've proven that they can give their male counterparts a run for their money. In this video, we'll be discussing 15 iconic female superheroes in the X-Men, and what makes them so powerful. Let's get into the video, and learn more about these formidable femme fatales in the comics. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix. Since her appearance in the first issue of the X-Men in 1963, Jean Grey has been known as one of the strongest superheroes in the Marvel Universe. Though often portrayed as a motherly figure to the X-Men, and a person showcasing love, empathy, and intelligence to the younger teammates, she can turn into an Omega-level mutant once she gains her full potential from the Phoenix Force. But in the Dark Phoenix saga, this Phoenix Force turned her from one of the most lovable superheroes to one of the most formidable villains of the Marvel Universe. Known for her powerful telekinetic and telepathic powers, she can read and manipulate thoughts and emotions, and project illusions through her powers. She started developing her powers after her friend's death, but after her parents sought the guidance of Professor Charles Xavier, she was recruited by him, and became the sole female teammate of the X-Men. But the moment she switches into Phoenix Force, she can bend reality, create and destroy the existing universe at will, making her a universal threat. Aurora Monroe, Storm. Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, is one of the most iconic female superheroes in the Marvel Comics. Since she joined the X-Men in 1975, being the descendant of a witch clan in Africa, she started controlling her powers from a very early age. With her ability to control the weather elements, she can create and manipulate rain, wind, and lightning at any moment. Her power also makes her worthy of wielding Mjolnir, except for a few other superheroes like Captain America and Jane Foster. This proves that she's a compassionate and trusted person, ready to do anything to work for the greater good of the human and mutant world. Storm has battled with both the superheroes and supervillains numerous times to showcase her full potential. She manipulated the weather elements in her battle against powerful supervillains like the Predator in the Endangered Species and the Adversary in the Fall of the Mutant storyline. She saved the Earth from falling into pieces. She even managed to win over the powers of Magneto and Wolverine, and even Jean Grey successfully by showcasing her merit as one of the strongest superheroes in the Marvel Universe. Hope Summers, born after the events of Decimation in the House of M storyline, which took away the powers of most mutants due to Wanda Maximoff's fake reality. Hope Summers became a ray of hope for mutant society, earning a nickname for herself, the Messiah. Her unique power to mimic and multiply the power of other mutants makes her one of the most formidable and versatile mutants in the comics. What makes Hope one of the strongest X-Men characters is her ability to wield the limitless power of other mutants close to her proximity. For example, during the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline, she uses the Cosmic Phoenix Force and manages to reshape the consequences of the fight. She and the Scarlet Witch are the only two mutants who can rewrite the consequences of M-Day and make it possible for the mutants to be born freely after a decade of torturous past. By doing this, she kinda proved the prophecy and fulfilled her merit as the mutant messiah.
Or I'll drain every last ounce of his precious life.
Seline Gallo. Seline Gallo is one of the most intriguing supervillains in the X-Men. Her origins go back around 17,000 years in history. According to the myths, she was born before the Roman Empire flourished in Rome. During a religious ritual, she gained her power of immortality and lived among humans, disguising herself in many different names. But her immortality eventually turned her into an evil, power-hungry psychic vampire. She uses her power to absorb the life force from living beings, which helps her to keep up the eternal youth and beauty she portrays as a facade to lure her victims. She also possesses the ability to use telepathy, manipulate thoughts, and pyrokinesis to absorb the life from her prey. Her years of experience in the field of sorcery also give her the power to summon demons and cast incredibly powerful spells. She was even considered for the role of the Sorceress Supreme at one point, due to her excellence in the field of magic. But she's not one of those typical villains who love to show off their strength and power to scare their enemies, because she defeated Death in the X of Swords storyline in single combat after literally flirting with him.
Without his helmet, he's mine.
Emma Frost. Debuted as the supervillain in the Dark Phoenix Saga storyline in the Uncanny X-Men in 1980, Emma Frost has gone through many phases throughout her publication history. Her turn from a supervillain to one of the core members of the X-Men makes her one of the best female superheroes in the X-Men saga. Even though she comes from a wealthy family in Boston, her traumatic childhood sculpted her into a ruthless mutant in her early life. Emma is a powerful mutant with telepathic powers, which she can use within a 20-mile radius to project her thoughts onto her enemies, which also includes manipulating the enemy's brains to make them believe she's invisible. She can also transform her body into a diamond-like substance that protects her from physical damage. During the Generation X storyline, Emma showcased her extremely powerful telepathic ability to absorb all the powers and knowledge from Astrid Bloom and save the young mutants from being killed.
My power is your power, and I can take more than one!
Rogue. Being one of the most lovable superheroes in the X-Men series, she's a very powerful mutant in her own right. The adopted daughter of Mystique and Destiny holds a very unique power to absorb the memory, powers, and even the life force out of anyone she lays her hands on. However, this ability also makes her a very vulnerable and empathetic character. Although she can use her powers to defeat her enemies, this power also comes in between her and those she loves. She's demonstrated the ability to absorb the powers of another powerful mutant, Scarlet Witch, in the Dark Phoenix Saga and gain all her powers, like super strength, flight, and invulnerability, to strengthen her own powers. She's also battled against the Dark Phoenix to show her selflessness and bravery, making her one of the best superheroes in the X-Men saga.
Trust me, I still am.
Mystique. Mystique is a powerful mutant in the X-Men, known for her shape-shifting abilities and cunning brain. Even though she's been portrayed on the side of good for a while, her lifelong loyalty to supervillain Magneto makes her a formidable supervillain. Born as Raven Darkholme, she grew up with Professor X as his adopted sister and his family, but it's Magneto who brainwashed her into believing in mutant supremacy. Using her power to change her appearance at will, she can morph into any individual. This power gives her the ability to falsify their identities and gives her access to the most secure locations in the world. She's also a master tactician and has considerable knowledge and skills in politics, making her a great spy that even the entire CIA can't keep track of.
It's about to get totally hot around here!
Kitty Pryde. Born in Chicago, Illinois, Kitty Pryde kept her mutant abilities a secret throughout her childhood, but it was Charles Xavier who approached her telepathically to join the X-Men and become the team's youngest member. After joining the X-Men, she took up the pseudonym Sprite and became a core member of the team. Trained by Wolverine himself, Kitty is a skilled martial artist and master fighter, but her unique ability to pass through any solid object at will is what makes her a powerful mutant. This ability gives her incredible versatility in hand-to-hand combat and also helps her fulfill her missions as a spy in secret missions. Ilana Ruttin. Most mutants have more trouble growing up due to their special abilities than the rest of the world, but Ilana Ruttin, aka Magic, has a terrible past that makes her even more vulnerable than the rest. When she was sold as a sex slave in Russia in her childhood, she developed a dimension using her powers called Limbo, which allowed her to travel through different dimensions and teleport herself and others through light-dubbed discs. She also possesses a mystical weapon named Soul Sword, which she forged in the Limbo using her life force. This sword acts as the physical embodiment of Ilana's powers, and whoever wields it gains the powers of Ilana and also gets to rule over the Limbo dimension. The powerful sword also acts as a shield to protect her from magical forces and kill supernatural entities, making her a powerful mutant. Laura Kinney. Laura Kinney is another powerful female superhero in the X-Men who started her journey from X-Mansion as a student. During her initial publication history, she was shown as a clone from Wolverine's DNA, but later it was revealed that she is indeed his biological daughter. Laura, also known as X-23, inherited most of her powers from her dad, including the power of accelerated healing factor, regeneration, and adamantium claws. Her powers give her the ability to recover from any physical injuries at an amazing speed. She can also use her claws to cut through any subject, making her indestructible. Her powers of psychic resistance also make her immune from other powerful mutants, manipulating her thoughts and actions, which makes her a powerful mutant. Polaris. Like every other mutant in her family, Polaris is another mutant with immense power to create a magnetic force field. Being the daughter of Magneto, she also inherits the ability to manipulate magnetic fields using metals. She can also generate electromagnetic pulses and make herself fly through the air by levitating using the force field. Using her power to control metal, she can also create weapons in midair to attack enemies. In the House of M storyline, she even managed to have a face-off with her father to fight for the greater good and save Earth from falling into a fake reality created by her half-sister, Scarlet Witch. Though she's not as powerful as her father, who can literally destroy the whole world using his powers, Polaris follows the path of goodness and becomes a protector of the world using her powers. Dust. Dust is another superheroine with a terrible past. Born in Afghanistan as Suraya Qadir, she was kidnapped and sold as a slave, but she escaped from slavery using her mental abilities and enrolled in the Xavier Institute as a student. She can transform herself into a sand-like substance and control any sand particles around her. During the Decimation storyline, when most of the mutants lost their powers, she was one of the few mutants who did not lose her power and fought with the enemies to save the mutants. She also played an important part in defeating the powerful Exodus. During her transmorph phase, she's immune to any kind of telepathic powers, including Jean Grey and Professor X. She's also immune to magic and sorcery, making it difficult to defeat her in battle.
Destroyed! Is that all you guys ever think about?
Jubilee. Jubilee was one of the first Asian superheroes introduced to the X-Men in 1989. Born to a Chinese immigrant parent, she became an orphan in her childhood. She learned about her special powers, trying to save herself from getting thrown out of a mall, where she was surviving after running away from an orphanage. Her mutant ability includes the power of pyrotechnic plasmoids that she can generate from her hands. She can control, manipulate, and create different shapes and explosives using her powers. In the comics, she's vibrant and fun, unlike other mutants who are burdened by their responsibilities and hunger for power. Because of her goodness, she managed to save Wolverine from the clutches of the Reavers, and soon after that, she became Wolverine's sidekick in the later stories, helping him save the world. Hisako Ichiki. Hisako Ichiki is a Japanese mutant who was introduced in the Astonishing X-Men in 2004. She enrolled in the Xavier Institute, aiming to be a powerful mutant in the beginning. But later, she turned into one of the brightest students in the Institute and joined Kitty Pryde's Paladin Squad. She was also one of the few mutants who didn't lose their powers during the Decimation period. Her powers include a psionic exoskeleton, which she can use to create a protective armor to shield herself from physical hazards. Because of her skills, Hisako can control the shape and weight of the armor, making it easy for her to fight with enemies effectively. Her superhuman strength, agility, and stamina give her the potential to become a powerful superhero among the X-Men. Monae St. Croix, a descendant from the royal family of Algeria. Monae, aka M, first appeared in the 1994 Uncanny X-Men and became a member of the mutant group Generation X, and later joined the X-Factor and X-Men as an adult. M is one of the physically strong superheroes who can lift automobiles and heavy stones to attack enemies. She also possesses super reflexes, speed, agility, and balance, which makes her incredibly powerful in hand-to-hand combat against the odds. She's so powerful that she can survive the powerful strike from the Hulk. She also has a rapid healing factor that gives her the ability to heal her injuries as fast as Wolverine. Her potential to levitate gives her the upper hand when fighting in mid-air with more effective force. Her other powers, like telepathy and night vision, and eidetic memory, make her almost stronger in every possible way, making her one of the strongest mutants in the X-Men. Marvelous verdict. Since the origin of X-Men, female superheroes have been equally important and influential among fans. Characters like Jean Grey, Storm, and Mystique have given us some of the iconic pop culture moments in the past 70 years of its publication. These amazing female superheroes have successfully managed to fight some of the craziest and most powerful villains in history, and survive the events with the use of their incredible superpowers, with precision and tactics to survive the battles. Be it Jean Grey's Phoenix Force, or Storm's power to conjure up a storm, they have proven their merits as the most powerful superheroines in X-Men. So that's it for today. Check out our exclusive content on our channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our videos to let us know what you think of them. See ya!